Hey, I'm Tom Wachowski, founder of YourMoneyHouse.com, which is this website that you're looking at. And I first just want to say thanks for taking time from your life or maybe your business to look at all the personal finance stuff we've put together for you, because it tells me that this is something that's important to you. And I honor you for that, and I appreciate you taking time to take a look at what we've put together to make your personal finance life a little bit simpler. And what that is essentially a framework to help you simplify your money, align your finances together with your spouse, and ultimately build or grow a family fortune. And to do that, I've come up with this financial framework, kind of a checklist to help you figure out what to do first, when to do it, what to look for, what things mean, and how things might turn out if you do this or you don't do that at certain times. But before we get to the framework, I want to give you a quick overview of these 3 pillars that are essential to get done before we actually build this framework. So this first pillar is money's meaning. And what that means is understanding and being very clear on what money means to you is going to lead you to personal finance success faster. So let me give an example of what I mean. The question to ask yourself is, what's important about money to me? Let me give you an example. If I was to ask myself that question, I might say, well, it's important so that I can pay my bills. And okay, then I might ask, what's important about paying bills to me? Well, for me, that means that when I have the bills paid, I know everything's taken care of and I can rest a little easier. Okay, well, what's important about having the bills paid and resting a little easier? Well, when I've got that, I can focus on projects and have more fun and do things that I like to do, because I don't necessarily like to pay bills. Oh, okay. Well, what's important about resting easier and having more fun? And I go up that ladder about 5 times, and ultimately what ends up happening is I understand the real meaning of money to me. Or, in your case, the real meaning of money to you. It's essential to get clear on that before we can do any of this other stuff. So go through that exercise. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it'll help you get clarity on personal finance for you. The next pillar is handling financial habits. So what this means is that every day and every month, there's actions we take that either increase our personal finance success, decrease our personal finance success, or protect everything that we've built. So an increase might be, hey, we save more money because every day and every month we put this much money aside, or we didn't buy that and instead of buying that we put this money aside. That would be an increase habit. A decrease habit might be, you know what, we put a little bit too much money in the credit card this month, so we got more to pay off. That would decrease your personal finance success, right? And if you do that on a daily or monthly basis, pretty soon you go bankrupt, or you'll be very stressed and you'll struggle with personal finance. And finally, the third financial habit to handle is really how you protect everything that you've built. From your income, from maybe your house or your car, all these different things in your life, these different assets, how are you protecting them? And how do you do that on a daily or a monthly basis? So we need to understand how we handle our financial habits. That would be pillar number 2. Pillar number 3 is cash flow. Handling the money that comes into our life and the money that comes out of our life or goes out of our life in a very thoughtful, intelligent, and strategic way. So the gurus use the term budgets. And I bet if you're like me, you don't like that term. It just turns people off. It doesn't work very well. So what I like to use is a term called money buckets, which essentially means you've got these different buckets in your life for different things. And you fill them up with different amounts of money depending on what they're for. So to kind of give you a quick overview, you may have a long-term bucket, you might have a short-term bucket, and you might have a fun bucket. And you would fill those up with money accordingly, and that would help you control your cash flow. So we've got to get these 3 pillars in place first. Understanding money's meaning, handling financial habits, and getting cash flow taken care of before we can actually get to the framework. But what is the framework? Well, let's talk about that. Your money is like your house, right? There's a foundation to it, there's walls, and there's a roof. Now, if you build a house out of order, it's just not going to work. It's not going to stand up to the test of time. It's not going to protect you, and it's not going to make your life more fun, more enjoyable, right? So you've got to build it in the right order. Now, your money is no different. There's a foundation to your personal finance life, there are walls to it, and there's a roof to it, and we got to build it in this order based off of these pillars. Make sense so far? So let's talk about what this is real quick so you can get on and do some deeper learning throughout the site. The first part of your foundation is income. Now, if you think about income, everything in your personal finance life revolves around it. Whether you earn that income from a job, whether you earn that income from investments, or maybe you own a business, everything else revolves around income. No income, not much of a personal finance life. The second part of the foundation is your different insurances. So these are the things you're using to protect, your house, your business, your cars, your income, through life insurance maybe, right? This is the foundation to your personal finance life, or your own money house. And this first wall rather, is how much money that we save. So once we've got the foundation in place, it's time to start saving for different things. Maybe it's growth in a business, maybe it's a vacation, maybe it's a new home, maybe it's a college education, I don't know, but we've got to have that in place next. After that comes debt. We've got some savings in place, we got to get debt knocked down. So essentially we want savings to go up and we want debt to go down. How do we do that? We talk about that on the site. The next part of your wall, maybe the second story, is investing, your investments. What are the tools, what are the strategies, what are the best practices to make smart strategic decisions when it comes to investing? We'll find out in the site. After investing comes sharing. If we're making money and we're saving money and we're paying off debt and we're investing, well, it's only right that we share it with other people, with other organizations, with other causes, right? How do you do that? We talk about sharing all throughout the site. The roof of your money house is retiring and estate. So let's talk about this real quick and we'll wrap this video up. What are the tools and the strategies and the best practices to retire? What do you need to know? What do things mean? What do you need to look for? We talk about that all throughout your money house. And finally, estate planning. How do you put stuff in place to protect all this from a legal standpoint, so that if there are catastrophes, so that if there are arguments, so if there are legal issues, you're protected and it's spelled out how you want things taken care of if maybe you get hit by the bus too soon. In other words, you die. That's what the estate part is. So this is the financial framework for your money house. This is your money house. You've got to build it in this order or it's just not going to stand up. Income and insurance is your foundation. Savings, debt, investing, and sharing money are the walls of your money house. And finally, the roof is retiring and estate planning. Now, you may be working on these, at the same time. You may be saving money and paying down debt at the same time. You may be increasing your income as well as increasing your insurances at the same time. That's okay. It's just got to be done in this order based on these pillars. Now here's kind of the beautiful thing about the Your Money House framework. You may follow a financial guru and you can take their system or any system and plug it into this framework or this checklist. So let me give you an example of what I mean. Everybody likes Dave Ramsey when it comes to talking about debt. He's the expert. He knows about debt, strategies to pay debt off, how to tackle it, how to stay out of it. He's the master of debt, right? Plug him in to the debt part of your money house. What about investing? A lot of people follow Rick Edelman, or they follow Ray Lucia or Jim Cramer, all these different gurus and who have different perspectives and ways to invest. You can plug their system right into investing. Again, this is a checklist, so that you do the right things at the right times in the right orders. You know what to look for, you know what things mean, and ultimately you have personal finance success. So this is the Your Money House framework. I hope this kind of quick review helped you get a better idea what this site's all about and how it might help you. If you have any questions, send me an email. You see my email address below. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? Do you have comments on this? Do you have questions about it? Do you have feedback? I'd love to hear it. But thanks for taking time from your day, from your business, your busy life, whatever it is, to kind of get a better view of the Your Money House framework. I'm Tom Wachowski. I'll see you in the next video.